right, kind of an extension of the standard deviation. Let me talk about the mean, median, mode of the two sets we looked at in the previous video. This data set and this data set. As we talked in the previous video, this has oops, I have these backwards. The standard deviation here is 3.27 and the standard deviation here is 1.63. We talked about that. Notice when we calculate the mean, median, and mode for these two data sets, they're all the same. The mean is 4 for each data set. The median is 4. Again, the median, after we put them in ascending order, we count in. Because there's an even number of data values, we take the average of those two, and that gives us 4 for our median. And then the mode is also 4. But we can see just by inspection, by looking at these, that they're different data sets. So sometimes calculate just the mean, median, and mode, it doesn't give us enough information. All right? The standard deviation gives us more information, and we can see from the standard deviation, this one has to be more spread out than that one. Now, another thing I want to talk about as far as the mean and the median. Let's look at 2, 4, 4, 6. Okay? We calculate in this example the mean is 4, the median is also 4. But let's say we have an outlier instead. Let's say the 6, I don't know, let me make it here, this adds up to 10. So let's say this is a 30. All right, so now to find the mean of this, so actually we had 6. Now let's say we have 2, 4, 4, and let's make this 30. It's an outlier. It's way bigger than all the other data values. Now if I find the average, we get 30, we get 40 divided by 4 is 10, but look at the median. The median, when we march in, we get the same two middle numbers. The median is unaffected, but the mean is greatly affected. So this is very important to understand how outliers, the effect outliers can have on the mean if it's a relatively small data set. It has a huge effect. But outliers, an outlier or so, does not have an effect or doesn't have a very big effect on the median. Right? So these are things that we want to consider when should we use the median or mean to describe a data set. So, if you think about test scores, well, let's say a student gets an 80, an 85, and 83, and then they have a bad day. They get a 40. Does the mean really represent the average, the central tendency of the student's ability or their performance? And I would say not. This is why sometimes when you have a fairly small data set like the number of exams, one of the exams is dropped and then we calculate the mean. So that's the basic idea of mean, median, and mode and how it's connected with the standard deviation.